primary nutrition expert. So have you or your children ever been constipated? So that means that you can't have a poo or go to the toilet or pass a stool. It can be really uncomfortable. It can make you feel really, really bloated. And generally, you know, we get all our toxins out of our body. One of the main ways is through our bowel. So it's really important that we're passing a stool every single day. I'm a big believer, parents, in actually talking to your kids about poo. Because if they don't understand how important it is to go to the toilet, they might be embarrassed or really shy to talk to you about it. So do make sure, you know, as they go past the nappy stage, that you do actually have a chat and check in with them every now and again. You know, are you going to the toilet okay? And we just talk about poo quite a lot in our house, because I really want the kids to know that it's a really normal thing and it's perfectly natural to talk about in the right situation, of course. Now, one of the things I wanted to show you is my constipation pudding. This has been really popular on Facebook, and I wanted to re-record it so I could really show you what's going in here and give you a little bit more information. So what I'm going to do is start off with seeds. Now, seeds are a great source of soluble fibre, and one of the best ways to get the bowel moving is flax seeds. So just 2 tablespoons, and actually, you know, you can do this on its own by soaking some flaxseed in some water, just in a little bowl, something like this, and soak the flaxseed in some water overnight, and you get this kind of gooey kind of jelly stuff, which is brilliant for adding into smoothies, putting into cereal and things like that, and it's great for getting the bowel moving. I like to add some chia seeds. If you don't have chia seeds, you can just add a couple of extra tablespoons or 1 extra tablespoon of flaxseed. So this constipation pudding will serve about 2 people, give you 2 portions. Then I like to add a handful of oats. You could use gluten-free oats or you could use quinoa flakes. Lots of really lovely soluble fibre there. I'm just going to put a little bit of pinch of salt in because it brings out the flavour. So a little tiny bit. I've got some pink Himalayan crystal salt there, and half a teaspoon of cinnamon. It's brilliant for blood sugar control for children, but also helps to sweeten it a little bit. So we're kind of roughly measuring about half a teaspoon of cinnamon there. And then I find kids like it slightly sweet, and actually dried fruit is a brilliant source of fibre and zinc and things like that. Just don't use too much. So I literally just get 3 dates and chop them as fine as I can with scissors, or you can use a knife. I quite like to do scissors and it's just quick and easy. So pop those in, and as you soak them, what you'll find is that the sweetness comes out, which is really nice, and then goes into the pudding. So then I've got some coconut milk here. This is cocoa. You can use any kind of milk. You can use regular milk. You could use even water with a little bit of apple juice if you wanted, not too much, or a tiny bit of prune juice, which is great for getting the bowel moving. So just about a cup of cocoa, and I'm going to put about another half to 1 cup in there, depending the texture you like. You can experiment with this. I like to put another half in. Give that a really nice stir, and then I'll just put that in the fridge and leave that to soak overnight. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of a here's what I did earlier. So we'll put that over here. And so one of the things I didn't add to there actually is cocoa powder. If you want to make it into a chocolate pudding, a teaspoon of dark cocoa powder is also really, really nice. And you can also add a little squeeze of lemon. Some children are not very fond of citrus flavour, but I think it brings the flavour out. But I tend not to put it in for my kids. So here's one I made earlier. So this has been in the fridge overnight. So I'm just going to start to make it look nice. Now sometimes for my kids, if they do need this kind of pudding, I might blend this in my NutriBullet because it just kind of makes the seeds really smooth. And sometimes when there's bits in, they don't like it. So I'm just going to put this in here. You can see it's forming this kind of really kind of goopy kind of consistency. So what I'll then do is I get an apple. There's lots of lovely soluble fibre in and under the skin, pectin, which is really good for our bowel. And it's good fibre that you want to get into the bowel to help bowel movement, but you don't want to put loads of insoluble fibre because that can sometimes make things worse. So traditionally we always thought about putting in wheat bran and all bran, but for some people that can make the problem worse. So I tend not to use a lot of wheat bran, and I'd like to use more soluble fibre from fruit, but not too much fruit, but really just grating that in. And I find if you grate it in on a lemon zester like this, it makes it a lot easier, but also it kind of extracts some juice as well, so you can really mix that through into the pudding. So this could be eaten as a breakfast, it could be a snack, it could be a pudding. I call it a pudding because of its consistency. So just tapping that in, and then mixing that through. Now, you could put a little bit of honey on there. You could put a little bit of nice natural yogurt on there as well. Just a nice dollop just to make it creamy, if I can open it. So I'm going to put a couple of heaped teaspoons in there. Give that a really nice mix. So I'll serve that up with the kids, and then to make it look kind of prettier for them, I'll probably throw a handful of blueberries on top. Now, really important, if you are adding more soluble fibre into your diet, do make sure also that you drink plenty of water. So there you have it, one really nice constipation pudding. Let me know how you get on. It's brilliant for getting bowel moving, and do check out my website at thefamilynutritionexpert.com for more recipes and information. Hope to see you soon. Bye!